This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the place to make a beautiful website to help you stand out and succeed online, but more on them later. I've been reviewing my personal watches less on the channel lately, and there's really only one reason for this. I want to actually take time to enjoy my watches as things that I own and quite like before turning them into content for work and opening my personal watches up to public scrutiny. So to cut a long story short, I'm just rethinking how I talk about my personal watches on the channel. On an enthusiast level, I've been on a new side quest to try to collect the most iconic chronographs. I have 3 of the 5, so the Rolex Daytona, Omega Speedmaster, the Breitling Navitimer, and I'm just missing the Tag Heuer Monaco and Zenith El Primero. But even of the chronographs we have here, the Navitimer stands out. Here's everything you should know before buying a Navi: the good, the bad, and the ugly. So first, let's address the cold hard facts. Looking at the specifications, this has a case diameter of 41 millimeters, thickness of 13.6 millimeters, and a lug-to-lug of 46.7 millimeters. This is a pretty small wrist-friendly lug-to-lug measurement, so here it is on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. As always, it depends on you and how you like your watches to wear. For this style, an aviation chrono, I like a little more oversized, and I'd recommend this for a 6-inch to 7.5-inch wrist circumference and larger. Over 7.5-inch wrist, maybe start looking into the 43 millimeter variants. For me, the chronograph was essential. Come on, how can you get a Navi without the chrono? But if you do insist on the chronograph, like myself, 41 millimeters will be the smallest variant. If you want a smaller size, there's always the 3-hand variants. Powering this watch is the Breitling manufacturer caliber B01. This is self-winding with 70 hours of power reserve and COSC certification, so it's pretty accurate. Chronograph functionality, of course. So if you're a bit newer to watches, that means this comes with built-in stopwatch functions, which are engaged through the 2 pushers on either side of the crown. So that's the boring specs you could read on the website. Now let's get into pure opinion. Let's start with what's good. I think the Navitimer has one of the strongest identities in watchmaking. It doesn't care if you think it's too busy. It's not apologizing for looking overcomplicated. A lot of modern watches have become cleaner, leaning into minimalism, but the Breitling is controlled chaos. It looks like an instrument, and that's what its heritage is. First introduced in 1954 in response to a need from the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, the earliest versions were only made for members of the association and used the innovative slide rule bezel, which consists of a mixture of inner bezel scale and rotating outer bezel. By aligning specific numbers, pilots could calculate flight time and distance, fuel consumption, and the rate of climb or descent. This was a function pilots genuinely needed and used. Honestly, for myself, I have no idea how to use it. I'm not going to learn how to. I just think it's romantic and cool. Aesthetically speaking, the Navitimer toes a weird line between being busy but still classical. I feel like it blends between worlds. You could easily wear this dressed up to the office, even to a more casual wedding, and still very casual and as a tool watch as well. I'm kind of evolving on how I feel about dress watch rules. I'm in this morphing place right now. I used to be very purist. A dress watch should be only 2 hands, bare minimal, just tell the time. But with the way modern dress codes are going and the way people dress at more formal occasions, I don't think those rules matter anymore. I'm okay with someone wearing an elevated tool watch to a more dressed up event now. This is a very new position for me. I'm just kind of settling in here. I just think in the same way we don't wear the same clothes we wore 100 years ago and those dress codes don't apply, I think watches are going in the same direction. And in the grand scheme of things, of all the problems happening in the world, the watch that someone wears to a formal occasion, it seems pretty small potatoes. But you know what's pretty big potatoes? You know what's important? Having a great looking website. And this is where we need to talk about today's fabulous video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is awesome. I've been using them for years now to run my website, and I'm working on other websites using them as well. So I really started with them and I've stuck with them because they make it easy. So you can start building your site using their Blueprint AI, using just a few basic prompts, then let the AI magic generate a personalized website so quick and it looks so good. Or you can choose from their library of gorgeous templates. Whatever option you take, everything is still fully customizable, drag and drop, and make it a little reflection of you. And they have options for everything. Whether you want to promote your brick and mortar shop, they've got you. Or maybe you sell physical stuff online, or maybe you just need a little one-pager to promote your awesome watch review YouTube channel. Plus, their integrated SEO tools optimize every website so you show up more often on search engines, higher up, so more people can find you. Go check out squarespace.com/BritPierce for a free 14-day trial. The link should be in description, and use my code, the BritPierce code, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Get that website off the ground, make that dream happen, and thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Ooh, I've just thought of one more thing we should talk about, speaking to the versatility, not just dressing up, dressing down, but in the strap options as well. So it is 22 millimeters between the lugs, and I've been switching up the straps a lot. So I actually have the bracelet variant, and I almost never wear the bracelet. I pretty much exclusively have it on the Breitling leather strap. And this cheap Velcro Garmin strap, it was 15 pounds on Amazon. I use it more than anything else. It's actually what it's on right now. So for the bad section, I wanted to make it more subjective things someone might not like, little nitpicks, things that aren't deal breakers but are still worth knowing. For one, I think a lot of people find it too busy and hard to read. It's almost like the flip side of the coin of the very thing I like. I like that it feels like a tool or an instrument, but for a lot of people, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot for the senses. The general trend we're seeing in the watch industry right now is the exact opposite of the Navi, so it's smaller, more refined, pared back, minimal. And it's not because watch brands are boring, it's because that's what people are buying right now. And watch brands like to make money. For a lot of people, less is more, especially when the information given isn't the most practical. The intricate circular slide rule is heavily tied to mid-century aviation and effectively obsolete. The vast majority of wearers will never use it. I haven't the foggiest on how to use it. I use the chronograph functions, but that's about it. Number 3, the water resistance. Despite being pitched as a robust utilitarian pilot's watch, this only has 3 bar or 30 meters of water resistance. This is one of those things that doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people. I always have plenty of notice before I go swimming, which is hardly ever, and I can put on a different watch or wear no watch at all. And it's just not an expectation I have of chronographs as much. Sure, there are some outliers. I think of the Rolex Daytona, the Tudor Pelagus FXD Chrono, but for the most part, I don't expect chronographs to have crazy levels of water resistance. But I also know for a lot of people this is a massive consideration in their watch choice, and it is worth noting. I think if Breitling constructed this and tested this for 50 meters minimum, it would move the needle for a lot of people. And number 4, the bracelet isn't my favorite, hence why I haven't been wearing it. I think this style lends itself more to a strap, and I do find the bracelet a little bit too flashy. I don't know, I just think the Navi belongs on a strap. If you're interested in buying one, this is one of the rare times, one of the rare occasions where I'd recommend skipping the bracelet altogether. Just go for a strap. And finally, the ugly. I've got 2 reasons why I think someone shouldn't buy this watch. For one, don't buy it because it's iconic. You don't have to force yourself to like it enough to buy it just because it has a lot of personality and you feel like you should. It won't be for everyone. It's a watch a lot of people admire, but just because you admire something and quite like it doesn't mean you have to love it to the point of buying it and force yourself into thinking you like it more than you do. Actually, funny enough, when I was talking about my side quest to own all the iconic chronos, this is kind of how I feel about the Monaco. I will probably never own the Monaco, despite respecting it so much and liking it so much. And 2, don't buy this if resale value is a big deal for you. The depreciation is notable. If you want the lowest price, go secondary. If buying new is your preference, ask for a discount. I feel like the pandemic And all the madness around watches in 2022 and the hype rewired some people's brains on value retention and where people should stick their money when it comes to watches. Most watches, far and away, most watches don't sell for more going secondary. Most watches are pretty easy to buy at retail and therefore don't command that same premium. For me, personally, I wear this one pretty regularly. I enjoy wearing it. On paper, I wouldn't expect it to be one of my more worn watches, but yeah, I find myself choosing it a lot. Some watches quietly disappear and melt into your wrist, and you love it for that reason. That is not what the Navitimer is. It's bold, it stands out, and I love it. Anyways, guys, that's all we've got for today. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Navitimer. Would you ever own one? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And now, thank you to the Pope tier patrons. Get their names on screen. Hello, patrons! Pope tier patrons, all tier patrons. Thank you so much. You guys are the fabulous people who keep this channel going, who make it financially viable for me to talk about watches as my full-time job, which is awesome. I've been wanting to make a Navitimer video for a long time. It's been a noticeable omission from my library. I have Daytona videos, I have Speedmaster videos, but where is the Navitimer? I feel like I could make more videos on it. It's just a wealth of content. I don't know, maybe next we gotta do iconic chronos. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. It's about you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope you keep enjoying the work we do here. Even if you don't, I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're fabulous, you're fabulous, and we'll see you in the next one.